Hey, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Okay, so before we talk about today's topic, I wanted to talk about this article that I saw over at Pokemon Go Hub. Apparently some Norwegian hikers were lost in the woods, and they were able to navigate their way out of those woods thanks to Pokemon Go. Yeah, this is one of those stories where Pokemon Go actually saved lives. So even if you have any kind of gripes with this game, and even if you do not have any good feelings towards Niantic, at the very least, this is a story where there was definitely a positive impact on a couple of trainers. So yeah, with that said, let's talk about today's topic, which is going to be all about that New Year's event that we're going to be getting at the end of this month. And this is an event that typically is very small in terms of scale, but it often comes with a lot of different costume Pokemon that you could only get during New Year's, so a lot of players tend to look forward to it. However, this year, it seems like they're going a more bare bones route. It's not necessarily going to be as exciting as previous New Year's events, and I think a big reason for that is because they're putting a huge emphasis on a paid timed research ticket. So yeah, naturally, I'm very disappointed by this, but at the same time, I still think there's a couple of things to look forward to. So yeah, let's talk about the details for this New Year's event. The New Year's 2025 event is going to start on December 30th at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go until January 1st at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. Yeah, you heard that right. This is going to be a very short event. Now, the featured Pokemon for this New Year's event is going to be Pikachu wearing a snowflake beanie and Wurmple wearing a party hat. Both of these are costume Pokemon that were featured in previous New Year's events, so there's nothing that's going to be new this time around. Now, during this event, we're going to get the following event bonus. You're going to get 2025 experience when you catch Pokemon with excellent throws. Now, if you have a lucky egg on, that's going to be a ton of experience as long as you're hitting those excellent throws. So definitely take full advantage of this, especially if you're trying to level up your trainer levels. This is definitely going to be a really solid experience grinding event. Now, in terms of the wild encounters, you're going to see Jigglypuff wearing a ribbon, Hoot Hoot wearing a New Year's outfit, as well as Wurmple wearing a party hat. And then in 1-star raids, you're going to see Pikachu wearing a snowflake beanie, and then in 3-star raids, you're going to see Raticate wearing a party hat, as well as Wobbuffet wearing a party hat. Now, there's also going to be a paid timed research for $2 USD. It's going to award you with 3 premium battle passes, 3 lucky eggs, 2025 Stardust, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon. There's also going to be field research tasks that are going to be themed around this event, as well as a timed research and a collection challenge, so be on the lookout for those. So yeah, even though there's going to be a whole bunch of costume Pokemon and they're all going to have a boosted shiny rate, it's not going to be anything new. These are costume Pokemon that we've seen in the past with previous events, and it's not going to be something where a lot of players are going to go out and try to get them. I mean, yeah, it will be exciting to get yourself a shiny of any of these costume Pokemon considering their exclusivity, but I do think that they could have done a lot more, especially because when it comes to their in-game events, they've been putting such a huge reliance on in-app purchases, whether it be with hatching eggs or with, I don't know, just in-app purchases, really, like paid timed research tickets. Like, they've just been going all in on this sort of gameplay, and I really do not like it. I personally feel like this is just another example of them trying to cash in on their player base, and I really do think they should have done something different. At the very least, they should have brought in a new shiny or maybe a new costume Pokemon to ring in the new year, but they are not doing that, and I think that's a huge disappointment. I mean, in the past, we've had some really cool stuff like Slowpoke wearing 2021 glasses. I thought that was something that was really cool. And they also had different costume Pokemon that we could only get at the end of the year. But this year, it's just going to be a repeat of a couple of Pokemon like Party Hat Wurmple, which has been in the game for such a long time. And yeah, I do think this is a big disappointment. That's just my personal opinion. I know there's going to be players who are going to disagree with me. I mean, yeah, getting a boosted shiny rate does sound nice on paper, but if we go off anything historic when it comes to boosted shiny rates for in-game events, it typically is a slightly boosted rate rather than something that you would typically see with, let's say, like a community day. It's usually something in the rate of like 1 in 90 as opposed to like 1 in 20 or 1 in 60. So even if you go out and grind, chances are you may not even come across a shiny, even though it is boosted. So Yeah, this is very disappointing. I'm just very unhappy with how Niantic has been handling in-game events. I really wish they did something outside of just constantly throwing in-app purchases in our face. This is going to be like the third or fourth event this month that's going to have some sort of paid timed research ticket, and the ticket itself is really the major highlight. And I think that's just terrible game design in my opinion, because I'm not necessarily saying that they need to include all this stuff for free, but they need to give free-to-play players something. They need to give us something that we could actually enjoy and not be required to spend any money, because it's really going to be for the people who buy this ticket who are going to get the most out of this event. And I really feel like for Niantic to go down that direction, it's a really huge detriment for this game. It makes me very worried for how 2025 is going to go down. It's very possible that they would take things a step further and just completely monetize almost every aspect of Pokemon Go. And in my opinion, that would be just incredibly boring, in my opinion. I just cannot find myself enjoying the game if it ends up coming down that way. So yeah, that's essentially going to be it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts regarding this New Year's event. Again, I'm very disappointed, but I'm sure there's players out there who are going to disagree with me. If that happens to be you, I would like to know your thoughts. Make sure you share them down below in the comments, and yeah, let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the best way you could do so is by joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids and the friendship system. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you could do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. I'll also include a link to them in the description below. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later. Wow, I'm very out of it right now, so my tongue is just tied. I just cannot get words out lately. Oof.